The Internet, as we know it nowadays, is the product of several different concepts created and developed by the end of the 1950s and the beginning of the 1960s. I'm going to talk about the three networks that gave the origin and consist the basic structure of the Internet, and one protocol that was also created in order to standardize the communication of these three networks. The first of them is the ARPANET. This was a project with military and defense purposes. So the main thing is that this network gave to the Internet is the fact that the information before it was centralized, and the rest of there were other points that were used to give the information, but the processing and the control managing of this information was centralized. The ARPANET, because of the fear of a nuclear attack, wanted to have in several different points the same information and the same hierarchical level, so that these computers, if any of them broke down, the network would be still operative and wouldn't collapse. Yeah. And also what they did, it was to improve the computers and change them into being multitask. So the computers before just did only one task at a time, but after they could do several different tasks at the same time. So this is what the ARPANET gave to the Internet nowadays. Let's go to England. There were a network that was needed to have let's say they needed to have the information instantaneously and very quick. So for not to collapse in the way where the information traveled back and forth, they cut the information into smaller packets and send it through the web, sent through the web, so the information didn't clog up the web, and it was just put together back in the final destination of the Internet. Well, and this is what the main thing that this network in England gave to the Internet. The last one is in France, and it was a scientific project that was supported with less funds. So they needed to low cost, and what they did was to have any people who shared the network had an interface installed in the computer, and what they did was basically to have the information passing through the computer without actually interfering with it, the information. So you could have three computers. In the first sent the information to the third one, the first to the third. The second one didn't interfere with the information, just passed through. So what is this? Joint a long distance and make them shorter. And this was the main approach to this to the Internet nowadays. And lastly was the creation of the protocol TCP/IP, and what it did was to identify any computer in the network, in the Internet, and to make them to recognize where you sent the information and where from was this information sent to you. So you could have both points interconnected, and could be differentiated from any other point in the network. So this was the basic. This is the basic structure on which the internet consists. Thank you. Bye bye. I'm from